Throughout history, religion has brought about violent attacks. With this being said, religion has also brought many people together in a peaceful way. Religion as a concept has had its negative impact on society as well as it's had its positive impact. Bringing attention to the reality of suicide terrorism and what it is alarming. Suicide terrorism is suicide for a perceived greater cause, in which a person kills him or herself and many others to advance a particular religious agenda. We have seen suicide terrorism throughout history performed by a different number of terrorist groups. Take, for instance, the September 11, 2001 attacks by Al-Qaeda. 19 terrorist hijackers aboard the 4 airplanes died while carrying out this attack. They killed a total of 2,977 other people than themselves that we know of during the 9/11 attacks. A more recent example of suicide terrorism are the attacks that took place in Paris on November 13, 2015. The attack started at a concert where an explosion occurred. Attackers were armed with assault rifles and some had explosives attached to their bodies, these people being known as suicide bombers. This night, at least 130 people died in various locations around Paris. Groups like Al-Qaeda and ISIS use religious rhetoric and context to gain followers. They explain their motives to be religiously enforced and even encouraged. Terrorist groups also use religious scripture to support what they are doing. Members of these groups sometimes even describe themselves as more devoted to their faith than non-members. Terrorists use religion to justify the atrocities that they are committing. Let's take a look at the two groups I have focused on, Al-Qaeda and ISIS, and how they use religious rhetoric to influence potential members. Al-Qaeda has their own recruiting manual where they explain how to get more members involved. It explains that people will have doubt, but advises members to use information from the Quran to recruit. ISIS follows similar recruitment guidelines, but it is a separate terrorist group. ISIS uses the religiously vulnerable people and offers them answers and a purpose. ISIS's ultimate goal is to revive the ancient caliphate and expand it to encompass all Muslims across the globe. It then believes that by doing this, the holy war will bring an apocalypse, as said in Muslim scripture. The group is implementing Sharia law, rooted in 8th century Islam. This is to establish a society that mirrors the region's ancient past. As extreme as this must all sound, ISIS does a good job of incorporating religion into their motives to make it seem like joining this group is a good idea. All in all, these terrorists are radicals that twist and transform religious rhetoric to justify their attacks. They have gone as far as taking their own lives during these atrocities. Unfortunately, sometimes it is not understood by the public that these terrorists are not representative of Islam as a faith or as a whole. There are many Muslims who speak out against this group.